Once again they come, rich men from north, south, east and west, American owners with their horses, poor men with pennies saved up for months past, beggar men who haven't saved up but want to back their fancy all the same, and thieves who'll get your money in the end. And they've all got one idea, to get the best view of the greatest steeplechasing spectacle in the world. It's perfect weather, the course couldn't be in better condition, the fences are stiff but all perfectly fair, and there are 35 star horses entered, all the ingredients for a Grand National that should make history. And in the paddock most people get their last chance of a close view of the one who's carrying their shirt, before they find out whether he's a trump or only just a knave. Golden Miller, the big question mark of this year's race. Reynoldstown out to see whether he can beat that 66-year-old record of the horse that won 2 years running. And Avenger, who was shot up to favourite at the last moment. And there are 32 others, and who says that each one hasn't got a sporting chance? Because in the National it isn't always the best-looking horse that wins. Number 5 is Double Crossed, one of the 3 entries of Mr. J.H. Whitney, the American millionaire, the other 2 being Royal Ransom and Rod and Gun. Leading the parade past the stands is Golden Miller, owned by Miss Dorothy Paget. Then comes Reynoldstown, owned by Major N. Furlong, Avenger, owned by Mrs. Violet Munday, 4th, Mr. Whitney's Royal Ransom, 5th, Mr. Whitney's Double Crossed, and 6th, another American entry, Castle Irwell, owned by Mr. G. Bostwick. And as they go up to the starting post, a million hearts beat a little faster, and it sounds as though a million bookmakers' voices are rising to a climax before dying down for good. They're at the post. They're off to a perfect start, all in a straight line. If anything, Davy Jones is out in front, and he's followed by Dane Court, Kiltoy and Bachelor Prince. And Golden Miller's there too. Over the first fence, it's Davy Jones and Kiltoy. There are 5 down, and sensation, Golden Miller is down too. And bang go the hopes of millions, but his jockey remounts and he's off again. They're over the second fence. Davy Jones is in front with Kiltoy, Avenger, Emancipator and Reynoldstown going well. At the third fence, Davy Jones is still leading with Kiltoy a close second. And there goes another one down. At the fourth fence, Davy Jones is still in front. It's still Davy Jones and Kiltoy, and yet another fall. They're coming up to Beecher's now, and as they go over, it's Davy Jones and Kiltoy leading Double Crossed, Avenger, Dane Court, Delanage and Linton. And you can see the whole field go over in slow motion. They're round the bend and over the 7th fence. Double Crossed is just in front of Davy Jones, followed by Avenger, Delanage, Kiltoy, Linton, Buckthorn and Emancipator. The canal turn. Kiltoy in front, followed by Davy Jones. Delanage is down. Then comes Emancipator, Avenger, Buckthorn and Dane Court, and there's Delanage's jockey still on the ground. And now they're coming to Valentine's. The first 3 are Kiltoy, Double Crossed and Davy Jones. Avenger is about 6 lengths behind the first 2. At the 10th fence, the first 2 are Double Crossed and Davy Jones. But Kiltoy, Provocative and Avenger are going well. At the 11th fence, Davy Jones is in front. Double Crossed a close second. Lazy Boots and Brience are down. And there's another 2 out of the race. And there goes a third. It's the last one before they come round onto the racecourse. It's still Davy Jones and Double Crossed. And there's a loose horse that may cause trouble. And another fall sends horse and rider into the ditch. The 13th fence, an unlucky number, but there doesn't seem to be any bad luck here, except for the runaway. The 14th fence, and still Davy Jones is leading, with Emancipator second now, and there's Royal Ransom, Double Crossed, Keen Blade, Crown Prince and Reynoldstown, going beautifully. The water jump, and the end of the first round. Davy Jones is in front, away out into the country for the last time, moving as if he's enjoying every minute of it. The 17th fence, and Davy Jones is over first, and now comes the second sensation, Avenger's down. And as it turns out later, he's broken his neck and has to be shot. A tragic end to Avenger. The 18th fence, now Inversible, is treading on Davy Jones's heels. The others are fighting it out for second and third place, but no one seems able to touch Davy Jones. The 19th fence, Davy Jones and Emancipator just behind. and Reynoldstown is up with them. It's a magnificent race. This year, Beechers isn't living up to its grim reputation. There wasn't a single fall the first time round, there isn't one now. There's Davy Jones and Reynoldstown, both going as beautifully as only the finest steeplechasers can. Over the 23rd fence. The canal turn, and Reynoldstown is within a length of Davy Jones. Next is Bachelor Prince and then Keen Blade. At Valentine's, Reynoldstown and Davy Jones are over almost together. The 26th fence, Reynoldstown stumbles and nearly throws his rider. That cost him 2 lengths and it may spoil his chance. The 28th fence, now there are only 2 more to go. As they come round onto the racecourse for the last time, Reynoldstown is coming up again. And now he's nearly level. It's only a 2-horse race now. They're coming up to the last fence. It looks as if Reynoldstown may win after all. And then the 3rd sensation. Davy Jones' rein has broken. His rider's lost control and he goes round the last fence instead of over it. Reynoldstown is over and Reynoldstown wins. He's coming up into the finishing straight now. No horse has won for 2 years running for 66 years. And it's a triumph for the amateur owner and rider. Reynoldstown wins! So a fine horse and his owner, Major Noel Furlong, makes steeplechasing history. And though perhaps the bookmakers aren't as happy as they might have been with one of the most heavily backed horses being led in as winner, there are thousands to cheer the all-amateur team, who have beaten the best for the 2nd year in succession. And if there's one horse that feels pleased with himself and the world in general, it's Reynoldstown. So cheer up, you there. He's won, even if you haven't.